We can evaluate 8 to the power of 2/3 by converting it to either of the two radical forms, and either way we should get the same answer. I'm going to start by converting it to this form. So recalling that the numerator is going to be the exponent and the denominator is going to be the index, we can rewrite this as index of 3, the radicand is 8, and the exponent is 2. Now we can go ahead and calculate this by simplifying 8 to the power of 2 is 64. A quick reminder of how to find a cube root in your calculator. You can go to math, then number 4, the cube root, 64 equals 4. Now let's go ahead and convert 8 to the power of 2/3 to this form and see how we get the same answer with slightly different math. So I'll write my radical. The index is still 3, radicand is 8, but now instead of putting the exponent of 2 beside the radicand, I'm going to put the exponent of 2 on the entire radical. So now going ahead and simplifying this, the cube root of 8 is 2, because 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. And then we still have that exponent of 2. So 2 to the power of 2 is 4. So you'll notice that both answers were 4. So both methods are totally fine. With that being said, I often prefer the second method because you end up working with smaller numbers. If you look at the first method, we end up squaring the radicand, which makes for a bigger number under the cube root sign, which can be a little bit harder to work with. Where with the second method, we end up cube rooting the radicand, making for a smaller number, and then we square it. Rewriting b as a radical, 16 would be the radicand, 4 would be the index. With the exponent being a 1, we don't really have to write it because having an exponent of 1 is not actually going to change the value of the radical. So we can just calculate the 4th root of 16 in our calculator. So just as a quick reminder, because we're doing a 4th root, we want to put 4, then math, and then we'll choose the x root, so number 5, then put our radicand, and that comes out to 2. So the 4th root of 16 is 2. When evaluating a question that has a rational exponent that's a negative number, I recommend using the ideas we talked about in the previous lesson to make that rational number exponent into a positive before turning it into a radical. So in order to do that, we will have to move the negative exponent along with its base into the denominator. So 1 over 25 to the power of 3 over 2. So now we can put 25 to the power of 3 over 2 into radical form to help us evaluate. So 1 over, the index is 2, so I'm not going to write it. Radicand is 25, and then our exponent is 3. So now that I've put it into radical form, I can rewrite it as the square root of 25 is 5 to the power of 3, and that's 1 over 125. We'll complete d in a really similar way. So we'll start by making that negative exponent into a positive. So 4 over 3. I've labeled as 4 as my exponent and 3 as my index. So let's rewrite this in radical form. So the index is the 3, 27 to the power of 4. So the cube root of 27 is going to come out to 3, and then we still have to the power of 4. And 3 to the power of 4 is going to come out to 81.